Hello everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Chris Hobson, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Egyptian cultural references in video games. Let me turn on this light real quick because it's pretty dark in here. Okay, and to start the video off, we're going to talk about the basics of Egyptian cultural references in most pop culture, even outside of video games. And these would include the Sphinx, the pyramids, or a pyramid, mummies, sarcophagi, the Pharaoh, and the hieroglyphs. And we can see all of these in early games like Banjo-Kazooie, Crash Bandicoot Warped, and Paper Mario, along with Mega Man 6, I believe, with Pharaoh Man. And we can see all of these elements, except for the mummies and sarcophagi, in the Soul Calibur 4 stage labeled Egyptian Temple. Now that we've talked about that, let's go on to a little bit more architectural things and cultural things that are from Egyptian culture that I've seen in video games. And wow, that was just weird. In Mario Kart Wii, there is in the stage Dry Dry Ruins, I believe it's called. I don't really know. They have like Dry Dry Desert and Dry. Anyway, they're at the base starting line, and this is also the case with Dry Dry Desert. At the starting line, there are two-seated figures that look very similar to King Ramses II's tomb, and and later on in the race, you can actually see one more statue, I believe, sitting up and one laying on the ground. And after the first turn in Dry Dry Ruins, you'll actually see a Sphinx Yoshi. Again, one of our basic little things in Egyptian culture that is referenced in pop culture today. I should really stop leaning on this chair. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Mario Kart. Although there may be some faux hieroglyphics. Oh wait, I forgot. As you come, I forgot. As you're coming around the race, you'll see these little tower like things with points on them, the Egyptian obelisk. Those are also another cultural reference to Egyptian culture and Egyptian architecture in general, the obelisk. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's move on to Persona 4, I mean 3, with our four Egyptian gods, Isis, Horus, Seth, and Anubis. Isis is the god of Isis is the god of wisdom, magic, and I believe nature and motherhood. And it's shown as she's shown us to be very well motherly, as her shape is very mother-like, and her and her I guess she just has like what would be considered a motherly torso bust shape. Um, I guess her being the goddess of nature is a representative of her sun disc horn thing that she technically stole from the goddess Hathor, but nonetheless, still, since they did at one point seem to become merged together, it seems that it's appropriate for her to be designed like that. The wings that come from her are again possibly a thing going to about with nature, and she's actually represented in some hieroglyphs with wings, so it's a-okay there with the correct representation of her. Um, Other than that, there isn't really too much that about Isis in Persona 3 and just in general that gives her wisdom and magic. Parts of her personality or just description of thing, except for her having a really high magic spell. I mean, a magic stat. Now moving on to Horus, who is the son of Isis. He is often depicted in hieroglyphs as a hawk or a man with a bird head, or just a I can't really call it a hawk, but just a bird or a man with a bird's head. He is the sun god when he merged with he became the sun god when he merged with Ra and whatnot. And being the chief god, he has some insta-kill light spells, which you would expect the chief god to have. He can also do full healing spells, which Isis can also do. And yeah, other than that, and he's well represented as he is he's a radiating bird representing both the sun and the fact that every time you see him in hieroglyphs, he is represented by a bird or a man-headed bird. Okay, now moving on to Seth, the dark dragon, who is the Egyptian god of chaos. Even though he isn't really depicted as a dragon in hieroglyphs, more as like this anteater thing with really tall ears. I don't get it at all, but that's how he's depicted in hieroglyphs. As far as this depiction in Persona 3, he's a dragon, and it doesn't really make any sense personally to me, based off maybe it's a newer interpretation of Seth, who knows. But his stats and like his insta kill dark spell and his fire dark spell, I mean his fire spell is actually representative, could be representative of chaos and such as well. So again, very well representative in his skills. Also, he's more of a physical attacking persona. So yeah. Moving on to the last persona, we have Anubis, who is the jackal-headed god of life and death in Egyptian myth, and he's pretty well represented in persona. He has the scales, he has the jackal, he has the scales of justice, he has the jackal head, he has all of that stuff. He is pretty well represented, both in like all of his spells. He has both light and dark spells that can instantly kill, and his design is could be pretty accurate of what Anubis could was depicted as looking as. And last in this video, I'm going to talk about Pokemon because there are a couple things in Pokemon that are possible references to Egyptian culture, like the Pokemon Dusclops, which is a mummified Cyclops. Basically, it could be like a half Greek, half Egyptian thing. So who knows? And then there's the Pokemon Yamask, which is supposed to be based off the Egyptian Ba, but the Egyptian Ba spirit, which is a spirit that can transcend life and death, is usually depicted as a bird, and the Pokemon Yamask looks nothing like a bird, and the mask is holding is also used to draw parallels to the Egyptian death mask, and since it evolves into the Pokemon Cofagrigus, which is a sarcophagus, it could hold water, but who knows. But yeah, I think that's all I have to cover in this video. Sorry for the pause there. That's all I have to cover in this video. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you like this video, well, you can leave a like or something. I guess it's on YouTube. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, you can leave a like. You can leave a comment or something. I don't know, maybe. Also, check out Game Exchange as they inspired this video. So check them out, give them some views or something. I don't know.